How's it going, everybody? My name is TheKevChambers, and in this video I'm going to show you how to throw a proper punch. We are only going to focus on jabs. So the first thing that we want to focus on whenever we throw a punch is, how do you make a correct fist? Well, in the different styles that I've learned over the years, whether it's karate, tangsudo, taekwondo, wing chun, wushu, boxing, all the different styles, you want to make sure that you make a tight, strong fist where all of your fingers are like this, the thumb goes over it. I have seen in other styles where they'll have their thumb like this, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been trained in that, so I don't recommend it, but I recommend, you're bringing the fingers down and then you wrap it up. Never do this because you can break your thumb. Imagine you're hitting on impact, boom, you're gonna break your thumb if you do that. When you make a fist, the thumb is going right over this, okay? Now, when I throw my punch, whatever punch it may be, I wanna make sure that my wrist is nice and straight. You never wanna be throwing a punch where the wrist could be like this, or the wrist could be like this, or like this, or like this, okay? Make sure your wrist stays nice and straight with an alignment. That way it can work with the structure of your body and your bones, okay? So that's how you make a nice tight fist. Fingers come in, thumb comes over. Whenever you are throwing a punch, make sure, especially if it's a jab, cross, you want to hit with your index and your middle knuckle, okay? Index knuckle and the middle knuckle, because you're coming out and you're hitting like this. Now, I'm going to give you a lot to digest right now, but just take it all in steps and take your time with it. So first things first, whenever you throw a jab or a cross, you want to make sure you keep your elbows in. Why? Because if you throw a punch like this, you are telegraphing and the elbow comes out. You want to keep that elbow in place so you get your full extension and you hide the elbow. So if I'm straight on like this and I throw 1, 2, not only is it going to be faster to get to your opponent, but you're also hiding your technique in comparison to this. And when I would ever teach, the kids and everything, I said, don't do chicken arms, all right? So, jab, make sure you hit with these 2 knuckles, keeping that elbow in, keeping your shoulder nice and relaxed. You don't want to get tensed up and bring it up because, again, that's a sign of telegraphing. If I'm doing this, people who are more skilled at fighting, they're going to notice that. So keep this nice and relaxed and throw that. Then, not only do we want to hit with the 2 knuckles, but we want to extend and reach with our entire body. So then you're not just hitting with just the arm strength of your entire arm, you're using your entire body. So then I'm here and I come out, boom. And then as time progresses and I give you more advice, you're gonna wanna do this so then you can protect your chin. That's what it's called. So, the 3 main takeaways when you throw your jab: keeping that elbow in, shoulder nice and relaxed, hitting with your index and your middle knuckle. Now, as you continue to progress with this, you want to stay nice and relaxed until that last second of impact. That's when you tighten up everything, and then you come back. So, whenever you throw a punch, especially if you're going to be punching against a heavy bag, 1, I recommend that you use hand wraps and boxing gloves until you get used to conditioning your wrist and your knuckles to actually hitting something with more impact, right? So whenever you're throwing a punch, do not hit it as hard as you can. You want to work on technique first, and even if you do something like this, 1, right? What's so good about this is, 1, I'm focusing on all technique, and 2, I am making sure that I have the proper distance for when I have to throw this for when I actually want to punch it, okay? So, one thing I didn't explain, which I'm going to explain right now, is whatever leg you have in front of you, that's going to be your lead leg, which means that's your lead arm for your jab. So if my left leg's in front, my left arm is my jab, which is also known as an orthodox fighting stance in boxing because your right hand has more power, and that's a knockout punch. Vice versa, if I go southpaw, my right leg is in front and my right hand is now the jab. what I highly recommend, especially when you're learning any type of fighting, is you want to practice both sides equally, so that way you don't favor one side. The reason why I say that is because you never know what's going to happen in a fight, and let's say this side gets injured and you have to switch up and you can no longer use your left arm. You have to use the right arm, right? But if I'm used to fighting like this could give me some issues, especially against an opponent who is very skilled at fighting or multiple opponents. So what we're going to do together is we are going to throw 10 jabs with both sides, okay? Now, again, do not hit this as hard as you can. Just focus on technique. 1, 2. Notice how I'm not even hitting it. I'm just touching it and tapping it, making sure I'm keeping my elbow in, my shoulder nice and relaxed. Even though it may not have done that at the very beginning, but I'm going to do it again. Boom, and hitting with, again, my index and my middle knuckle. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, whenever you make contact with something, you want to make sure that your wrist is nice and straight and you have a slight bend in your arm. If not, what's going to happen is you can hyperextend your arm like this, and all the pressure is going to go right into the elbow. So if you have it slightly bent, that energy from however hard you're hitting something is now going to transfer all the way through your body. Okay, that's how so many people who are experienced fighters can punch so hard, because they are not hitting, they're not hyperextending anything, and they're taking the impact as structure for how our bones are. Boom, boom, and boom, right? So then I can really hit it, and it's not going to affect me. But again, just practice here. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's really good about this exercise is I can focus on, as you can see, levels. I can really see if I'm going to hit the opponent in the chest, in the chin, in the groin. Okay? So, hopefully you're learning something from that. Just showing you jabs right now. In the other videos that are come out, I will show you the cross, the hook, and the uppercut.